From United Nations Television, this is UN in Action.
It's a typical sight here in the Chinese countryside. Women working the field and preparing meals for their family. But it's rare to find 41-year-old Peng Wei-ling in her kitchen. She has little time for domestic chores. That's because Peng is busy in a very different role, that of party secretary for her village. She was elected 4 years ago, the first time ever that a woman in her province attained such a leadership position.
Having taken up this position, I had to be responsible and let people know that as a woman, I was just as good as anyone.
Peng's success story is also that of many women's struggle to secure positions of power. A tale shared across much of rural China, where women have customarily had little say in the affairs of their community, and where more than 75% of all officials are men. But all that's slowly changing as more women like Peng gain leadership positions and use their voices to shape a new future for China. At Peng's village of Qing Xi in northeast China, the harsh climate makes life especially difficult for the farming families she serves. She spends most of her time helping advocate for them.
As an official, my main responsibilities are looking after village affairs, communicating with higher levels of government, and putting in place policies to improve infrastructure in the village and to help develop the economy of the community.
But one of the most important responsibilities, Peng says, is handling disputes, often over issues of land ownership and boundaries.
Land is the lifeblood of the countryside.
To help keep the peace in her community, she's a constant presence at the province's land bureau. Jin Kaofu is a village head who works closely with Peng.
There was a 2-year dispute between two families in the village over field boundaries. The local police couldn't sort it out, and neither could the court. But Secretary Peng and the village committee harmoniously resolved years of grievance.
Efforts are underway across rural China to get more women involved in shaping policy and enacting change. A pilot project to increase the number of women leaders was launched in Peng's own village, with the support of the United Nations Democracy Fund, UNDEF. Mikiko Sawanishi, Deputy Executive Head of UNDEF, says the first step is training potential leaders in villages across the country to run as candidates. They are taught vital leadership, management and decision-making skills. But changing men's attitudes is also vital, she says.
Project also educate or change the men's perception so that also men can support and help the women to raise their voice, where women can really voice their rights.
But in what Peng hopes is a sign of new times in rural China, neither she nor her husband and son would have it any other way.
At first, the man in the village said I was like a woman. I had to look after the chickens and ducks and do all the housework. But I accept this for the sake of Peng Wei-ling's work. I just hope she can do a good job, and that's enough for me.
It's also enough for her son, whose pride in her position gives her hope for the next generation of women leaders.
Sometimes when I hear people thanking my mother from the bottom of their hearts for helping them, I feel very happy. Even though she can't spend much time with her son or husband, she can help others to live well.
This report was produced by Yongning Chang and Jill Fickling for the United Nations.